What's up, guys? Today we're looking at a game called Survive the Nights. This is going to be an early access review of the game. Before we jump into this, I just wanted to say that during this video you're going to see two codes appear somewhere in the video. Take a look out for those, find them, write them down, and head to oathboundgaming.com and conjoin them. They're one code together. You got to get both parts. Enter them for the 3080 giveaway, and you will get yourself 10 additional entries. So keep your eyes open. Take a look in the video, see if you can find them, and get yourself some extra entries. So enough about that. Survive the Nights is what we're here for, right? We're going to go ahead and take a deep dive in this game, see what it's all about, see if this zombie survival game stands out from the crowd. Is it worth picking up? Let's go. Let's see what we got here. Let's go. Welcome back to Oathbound Gaming. I'm Greg, and today we're looking at an early access game called Survive the Nights. We're going to take an in-depth look at this game and find out what its current state is like and whether or not it's worth picking up. So at the top left right there, you can see the stats. When you first start, obviously everything's going to be zeroed out. We're going to take a look at the options, as we always like to do. We have our video settings there. Pretty basic stuff. Can't really ask for more. They have the FOV slider there, your VSync, resolution, all that good stuff. A little bit of a bug right there when you have that popped up, like the low and high, and then you swap screens. It still sticks out. So it's very, very minor bug. Controls, basic controls, sensitivities there. And then the server list when you go to play. One of the things about the servers right now is you cannot host your own server in the game right now. There is plans to add that, but that is definitely a bit of a negative in my book. Actually, a pretty big negative. Almost made me not even try it, but I was like, let's do the review. They said they're adding it. It's in the planned list to add it to the game, so it should be here soon. All right, so we're loading in for the first time. Let's go. So, when we first start the game, you're going to see a quick start guide on the right. Just a couple of things that they want you to complete so you can get the hang of the game. If you hold a key, you can check your status. That's got your hunger and thirst and everything down there. Your guy kind of looks at his hands a little bit to kind of simulate he's checking himself out, I guess, making sure he's all right. So in the guide, you have some descriptions on exactly what you have to do to kind of get the hang of the game and progress into it. Alright, so we're going to grab our first batch of wood. It glows like that, like that's a fallen tree, but that does not normally glow. It's just glowing because it's the tutorial kind of showing you what it looks like when it's a tree that's like, I guess, old and down. You could also cut down trees if you want, but that's one that's down there in the, on its own. This is what the crafting window kind of looks like on the left. I really think that can use some work. It's so ugly. It just looks so dirty to me. And I feel like a lot more love can go into the UI. On the right side, these tabs here are like filters for the loot you have. That's your current inventory on the right. And the left is the craft window and the guide and your inventory, even though it's not items. It's kind of like your hydration and calories and all that stuff. There's calories in the game. But you see I'm crafting a wooden club right now. It'll take a few seconds and it'll craft. And now I'll have a wooden club. Melee weapons automatically bind to the 1 key by default, but you can equip things through the inventory if you want, like that, and that's the very basic wooden club. The next thing they want me to do is to harvest cloth, so I'm going to go check out that building in the distance and see what I could find. One tip, don't sprint a lot when you're near buildings. It attracts a lot of zombies. As you can see, here's our first zombie, and she's done. And there goes the second one. One of the things you'll notice about the zombies later in the video is they can be a little like clippy and laggish, I guess is it's not really a term, but you'll understand what I mean when I show you it. They can like sporadically move and just they don't feel great sometimes, so I definitely think that can use some work. But in buildings, you'll see that there's various resources, whether it's ammo, food, weaponry, locks. You can actually lock stuff like doors and storage like that, so you could put items in there and lock it. So if anyone comes when you're offline, they'll have to try to break it open, and it takes quite some time to do. Cool system. I think it's kind of cool. It kind of entices PvP if you're into that. But like I said, they're adding local servers, so if you're not into the PvP thing, you could always host your own with friends and do like a co-op type of server, no PvP. As you see on the left side, those are all the available recipes in the game, and they're expanding them. And you can search for them at the top in that search box. But I'm kind of just looking at this and comparing how you light a fire and looking at it. Let's move on. The map could be quite big. It's a decent amount of size, like big enough that if 20 or 30 players are playing on a server, there wouldn't be constant PvP. You could see I'm on the right side there, that small blip near one of the cities. But some of the map is kind of unfinished, and there's kind of like under construction buildings, you know, and they kind of put it into the game like it's the developers working on it. So some of this map's still being fleshed out and expanded upon. It's now nighttime, and it's pretty dark. You have a headlamp that you can use like a flashlight or a torch, depending on where you're from. But it does attract zombies, and of course players. If there's PvP, they can see it from a mile away, so you do want to be careful with your flashlight use, and maybe prefer to walk around in the dark a little bit to be a little safer. So we shiv that zombie, that fat one, and you'll see when I turn the light on, that zombie picks it up right away and comes flying, and we stab her in the head. And now we can maybe get into this building. Alright, so we made it into the building, and it's really dark, so I want to place down a campfire. I don't have to, I can use my flashlight, but I do want to check it out and use it for cooking and all that good stuff. As you can see on the right, I have 1 out of 10 firewood. You don't need all of it. That just extends the time it'll burn, but it does require 1 tinder to get it lit. Not the kind of tinder that I will be checking after this, but the kind of tinder that starts fires. The lighting is actually quite impressive. It casts shadows, as you can see, because of that I think it's a couch on its side, is blocking the light from the fire. It looks really good, and also beware not to step on the fire, because that will happen. You can burn yourself. So here we're in a bigger building, and I met up with Bucky. You've probably seen him if you watched any of my other videos. We're chilling in a building, just looting it, checking out what's in here. Various food and ammo and gauze pads. Medical stuff to heal yourself if you get damaged. Plus, tip, you can also heal when you're near a fire. So that's cool. Can't forget the clam chowder. Not my thing. Alright, so as you can see on that water fountain, it said coming soon. It's like that's not in the game yet, so there's some stuff that's placed, but it's not available yet. I guess it's still pretty early in the early access phase, so it's getting there. There was a gun on that desk. I left that one for Bucky. And small engine carburetor. You can repair vehicles and drive them, and they are a lot of fun. I'll be sure to show you that. So, got myself a baseball bat, the basic wooden club again. Just checking out the various rooms, but it's starting to get a little bit on the dark side. So night's about to come, and that's when stuff gets a little intense, where you gotta kind of hold out and try to stand your ground, or really take off running. Circuit breaker, I just looted from that. You can actually put power in a building, add power to it, and you get lights and a running refrigerator and all that cool stuff. So it is nighttime now, and we built ourselves a nice campfire so we don't have to use too much of our flashlight's battery. Remember when I said the lighting is really nice in this game? Check this out. So I had Bucky open the door where the fire is. Oh, there's a zombie right there. Boom. Shotgun to the face. But if Bucky opens and closes that door, you'll see the lighting really, open and kind of cast out nicely from the door, and you can see the various shadows be cast by the light. Looks really, really good. So graphically, the game is pretty damn good. Not too bad. There's another player right there, and he's lucky I didn't blow his head off because it turned out to be one of our partners that we were waiting on. So now all 3 of us have, teamed up. Alright, so the horde's going to approach soon. We prepped in here, we cooked some food on the fire. And you also have to cook your canned food to open it unless you have a can opener. But you can get sick for eating some raw stuff. then you need antibiotics to kind of cure it. But you'll see Horde difficulty 1. This is the first Horde we're experiencing. They're going to rush us, but there's 3 of us, and we should be able to hold out. This shotgun ends up jamming, and I can't shoot. So you see my character kind of mess with it a little bit. Tried to shoot that guy, he's still messing with it. And now he's reloading it. Still not reloaded. Forget it, I'm going to switch to melee. One thing you got to watch out for is your team members can get killed. So Bucky's dead in that corner right there. I'm pretty sure Duckfat ends up killing him at that point. But that's okay. Still learning at this point in the game. And all his loot drops, unfortunately. But the guns can jam when they're really dirty. One of the problems I have with the handgun is that, where your character will pull it up to look at it sometimes for no reason and completely block your view. And I don't know what the deal is with that, but that's got to be fixed. But we end up surviving, and the next Horde's going to be even more difficult. Hopefully no one dies next time. Alright, our next holdout, Horde difficulty 2. This time things are going to be a little tougher. The Horde gets stronger, they level up, they just increase in size, and they last longer as well. Like the wave lasts longer, so get ready for the increasing difficulty of the game as you continue to survive the waves of the Horde. Still have that weird issue with the gun where he'll just constantly look at it. Quite frustrating, but it only happens with one gun model as far as I know. So it's one handgun, and there's many handguns in the game. Maybe like 4 or 5 handguns. There's rifles. There's rifles of multiple types, like a single shot lever action rifle type of thing. The carbine. And there's also like M4A1s, as well as shotguns. So you do get a nice variety of weaponry. Plus you can add suppressors to them. As you can see on the end of this gun is now like an oil filter can. Just like a normal can or oil filter on the front of it to help suppress it. But you can get better suppressors. You can get sights, scopes, and put them on the gun. And extended mags, stuff like that. So you get to modify your guns a little bit, which is a nice touch. Zombie's still trying to bust in here. One of the things about the melee animation, as you can see, I think that's Duckfat on the left. They kind of just like flick their wrist a little bit, like they're not really putting much power into it. I think the animation can use some work, but it's a minor thing. Hopefully that does get touched up before the full release of the game. But holding out with your buddies in a zombie defense is pretty fun. It's not too bad. Things definitely do get a little hectic, as you can see. But, yeah, one more wave survived. Let's move on. Before we get to some more entertaining stuff, I wanted to show you the cooking real quick. There's a stove here that we ended up lighting, and we put all our cans on it, and dirty water in these canteens that we have, and we're, turning it to clean water. We're boiling it. And then the cans will eventually pop open. You'll hear that and see it. You'll see the lids on the cans just pop off, as you can see there. And that is now available to eat. Because not only is it cooked to reduce the chance that I get sick, well, it reduces it to 0, actually. It opens it for me. I don't have a can opener on me at this point. So this is the only other method I have to actually open these cans. Just cook them in the can, let them pop off, and eat them. And like I said before, calories are quite important in the game because it's the only way to level up. And if you meet your calorie requirement, when the night is over, you will level up, which will increase your max health, your carry weight, and it's very, very good to do, especially the carry weight thing. I'm a hoarder, so that's always nice. A good way to increase how much I can hoard. So I'm just putting more cans on there. At the top left, you'll see the calories in the book there, and you want to make sure you try to reach that maximum calorie amount before the night ends. So every day it resets back to 0, and you're trying to search for food and cook it. There's also hunting. You can take down deer, and that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you some fun stuff. Let's take a look at the driving next, right? Let's do that. All right, I'm sick of walking around on foot here. So you know what? I'm going to go to my beautiful, top-of-the-line 2021 Cadillac Casanova, which I completely just made up. I'm going to show you this, but only the richest of people can afford it, like myself. Look at that beauty. Just mwah, beautiful. Not a scratch on her, no dents, beautiful condition. Top of the line, let me tell you that. This baby's been no accidents. Check the Carfax, no issues, no flood damage, no nothing. Beautiful, pristine. Put a lot of work into this baby. Let's hit the road, let's go. Driving in the game is pretty fun. It's pretty it plays well. It's not really, I don't know, laggy. It's not hard to control. It's not Cyberpunk level controls when it comes to cars, where like you start skidding out and that's it. Like once you get into one skid, you're done. In Cyberpunk, it was pretty funny. It was like you try to get control of it. This actually it steers well. It feels better than most AAA games driving. So definitely props to this game with their vehicles. And one of the things you have to do is, if you find a vehicle, you gotta fix all the parts for it. You gotta get the gas for it and put it in there. So it's a bit of work. It's not just something that you're gonna find, but yeah, you can build it up, get it, and chill with your crowd and bump party music as you speed through the town. You can also hit zombies and stuff, and the vehicle will take damage, so you do have to be careful with what you do hit. Definitely let someone in your group who actually knows how to drive. But I think every group of co-op players has that one dude that's just, it's just horrible. That's the duck fat of the group. Don't let him drive. That thing will be on fire in like 2 seconds. But it is a fun experience when it comes to the vehicles. Testing a little bit of off-roading, see how that goes. Head back that way. And yeah, you can run things down if you want to. Like I said, the vehicle does take damage, but you can use it as a weapon. Let me show you when I do that, because it's pretty funny. Get out of the way! Oh. There are some laughs to be had in this game, and these are one of those situations. Yeah, she'll be alright. Let's go. I'm not stopping. No one saw that. Just drive. There's some, like I said before, there's some of the bigger buildings in the game, like the supermarkets and stuff, and the loot is, you know, situated to the type of building. Like a police department, you can find a lot more ammo and guns, while a grocery store, you can find food, right? So you can kind of target those locations, and that's cool. Not that that's anything new. So a lot of these type of games have done that before, but that's the way it should be, in my opinion. So you just make a wise decision on where you want to go to try to find the type of loot you're going for. And everywhere you go, you're definitely going to find zombies. Sometimes they're a little less responsive, but you see what I meant by the laggy clippiness there? You probably saw that with that fat zombie kind of like blinks a little bit, and it becomes very difficult sometimes when the zombies, there's like 3, 4, 5 of them, and you're trying to hold off in a building and they start kind of like clipping a little bit towards you. It makes things a little annoying, a little less enjoyable, and I hope that gets fixed as the game progresses in early access and when we can host local servers, because I know myself, you know, when you're hosting a local server, it's going to perform better on your own network, right? Plus, my hosting's pretty good, so I always like the ability to host my own stuff. I generally host better servers than dedicated server hosts, so I always look for that. Plus, you don't have to pay monthly fees for the server. So a lot of these games don't put them in because they get a cut of those server hosting fees. But these devs already said that they're going to do it. They're working on it. So I guess we just wait and see. As with all early access games, I kind of look at the update history, and we'll get to that towards the end of this video to make sure that that the devs have been updating the game and it's not an abandoned type of early access game, which we see far too often. But that's why we like to hold dev teams accountable for their games. You know, if they're going to release a game in early access, we expect it to be updated in a timely manner. And here at Oathbound Gaming, we check that. We look into that before we do any sort of recommendations on a game and stuff. So at the end of this video, we'll get to that. We'll take a look at that together, and we'll see what the update history has been like. Let's move on to something a little more fun. Let's run some other stuff over. Yeah, let's hit things with the car. Remember when I said the car can be really funny and you can have quite a few laughs in this game? Well, this is one of those situations. This was on one of my live streams. So the audio is in there from the live stream for this one because it's kind of funny with it. So we were just driving around here and we happened to catch sight of a deer. So you can run down the deer if you want.
Get over here!
There's just something so comical about that. I love animals, by the way, so sorry. I would never do this in real life.
This car is gonna be messed
But
up.
it definitely had me laughing.
Uh-oh.
Let's talk about one of the bugs, though, with this. If you kill a deer with a gun, or somehow with melee, good luck with that, the corpse stays there and you can harvest the meat from it. But if you slam into it with a car, I found that their bodies just disappear.
Not all of them, I don't
And we
think.
couldn't locate them, and that's happened about 10 times, like 10 out of 10. So it seems to be a bug there, and I don't know, hopefully that gets fixed because this is just too much fun. It's too much fun to just
That's a live one!
run the deer.
Boys! Run this thing down! Yo, we got a V8 splash engine in here. You're not getting away. You're not getting away. Get over here. Oh, shit.
Cool, so that deer's definitely
Oh, wait, I'm
gone.
rolling down the hill.
The car starts rolling backwards, by the way. It's like got no brakes.
Alright.
But you'll see that the body's just gone for the deer. You also have to manually stop the car, turn the
Oh, you
car off so you don't
harvested it?
waste
Alright,
the
good.
gas.
Where's the other
But
one?
all the bodies for the deer we ran over are just gone. But if you actually do shoot
this game
them,
could be pretty funny
you
sometimes.
can claim the body, well, harvest the body, I guess, skin it for the meat. And that's one of the best ways to get the calories you need to get to the, max calories to level up at the end of the night. Which, again, is very important. That's an increase in health and carry weight and stuff you want to definitely target and try to do every night. And then besides that, you can also die from not eating, so... And, hydration stuff, so you gotta drink, eat. But yeah, we're looking for the corpse here, and it's just not there. So there's a lot of deer we ran over, and we just couldn't see the bodies. But that's why it's time to go hunting. Time to go hunting. We gotta shoot our deer instead. Let's see if we can harvest some of the meat from them. So we're coming across on a campsite here. Let's see if we can find some deer around the area. As you can see, there's one running back there. And we also want to loot these tents because they're one of the best ways to get clean rags for some reason. But it's a good way to get them, and they're used for bandages and such. Plus, we want to use this campfire here to cook some of the deer meat we picked up earlier. Plus, I'm going to show you a deer kill shortly after this. So we got firewood in there. We're going to go ahead and add the tinder so we can cook that. Just throw some dirty rags in there, light it up, and bam. Then you can manually cook your food. And I say manually because you do have to place it on the grill, which I think is a cool touch. I think it's, I don't know, it's nice. Nice change, I guess, rather than the automated crafting through the, the menu where you're just watching a timer or bar kind of tick down or fill up, whatever it may be. I like this. So you can sit here and watch the meat cook, but eventually it burns if you leave it too long. So you have to actually pay attention to that. You can't just put it on there and leave. And you have to pick up each individual piece. I think it's a cool touch. Just kind of fill the grill up. I've never had venison, by the way. I'd try it. Just I don't know. Never had the opportunity, I guess. But anyway, back on topic to the game. So when the cook, so Duckfat, being the comedian he is, puts a cereal box on the fire, and that I obviously didn't go well. I don't think you're supposed to cook cereal. Try it. Let me know how it goes. So as we're waiting, this'll cook. Kind of just walk around, loot the area a little bit, and then the meat will cook and start to darken. As you can see, a couple of the pieces are starting to pop up in a more darkened model, I guess, for the meat, and those are cooked. And it's a really good way to get calories for your level up, but they do spoil if you keep them too long. So that's something you gotta consider. You gotta go out and try to get the deer every so often, so you always have fresh meat. You can't just stockpile it too much. Like I said before, you can add power to a building, and when you do, some buildings have refrigerators that run, and they will preserve stuff like that, which is a cool system. There is a deer in the distance, and I'm going to try to kill with a handgun. It's not the easiest thing in the world because, you know, handgun, not too much damage, long range is not great on it, but ends up seeing me from pretty far away and running. Let's try this one here. I definitely hit it. Some of them take quite a few hits depending on the gun you're using. If I had a revolver, the revolver does substantially more damage, and it should kill them in 1 or 2 shots. But this will take a bit of an effort to take him down. Pretty sure he just went down, though, up against that rock. So if we go up there, we should be able to find his body and harvest the meat from him. Poor deer. The animation on that is definitely meh, but it's a minor animation. You don't see it too often. Just kind of sliding the knife, but it's alright. It does the trick. But looted 7 deer meat. Go back and bring it to the boys. The boys. And cook up some more deer meat so we can all level up at the end of the night. Alright, let's move on to the last section of vehicles I wanted to cover. This one's a funny one.
I see.
So this part here was quite funny. We do have the Discord audio on because it was just too funny not to...
Well.
Let's see what we can do. Oh, what the... What the
Stuck in the middle of the air.
What the hell? No, all the stuff's in there! Get down from there, yo! Oh, damn it! Oh, come on! I have stuff in my clothes are in there! A sleeping bag! My toothbrush! What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Oh, damn it! Oh, crap.
That's gonna blow up.
I'm letting you
isn't it?
enjoy this. That thing looks like a piece of junk. It's smoking and shit. Wait, stop the RV. Let me see if I can get in the car above. Wait, come on. What? I'm in. Oh shit! So that happened. Obviously in early access, right?
What the hell was that?
As you can see, just teleported a little bit.
God.
There's still some stuff to work on in this game.
Alright, the
Let's
game's
just say that.
obviously in early access.
But that was pretty funny.
So obviously...
So one of the final things I wanted to show you guys was one of our final holdouts. Real quick, I'm placing a campfire grill on top of the fire so we can place stuff down on it to cook. But that's not the point of this section of the video. The point is to showcase one of the bugs that DuckFat ends up finding. He's standing on that ledge to get a nice view, but as you can see, the zombies end up kind of like trying to swing at him way down below. So there's a bit of an exploit slash bug there, but we felt it was important to showcase this because you should know the flaws in the game, and hopefully we see this fixed, but it's definitely an exploit bug that we would really like to see fixed. And then one of the things you'll notice is the AI is not the best sometimes. As you can see, they'll come up the stairs and try to go back down, and they'll do that even without someone on the ledge sometimes. They'll do this sporadic little type of movement like that, like they'll get a little jittery, I guess, and a little frustrating sometimes. It's definitely gotten me killed, where you're trying to aim at enemies and they're kind of doing that type of thing. They're doing, you know, I wish I had a better recording of it, where they're coming towards you, they kind of jitter a little bit to the side, and it makes nailing shots pretty damn difficult. Like that right there was probably a good example of it. That zombie was kind of doing it on his way up. And again, they would do that with or without. And here's one last thing. That car out there that we built just exploded for no reason. So you put a lot of effort into building a car, and for no reason, just poof, just explodes on you. So as you can see the smoke out there, I was like, what the hell? What was that? So, and the worst thing is, you can put a lot of items in the trunk, or as my Australian and New Zealand co-op partners like to say, the boot of the car. Yeah, we had that discussion. I was like, they're like, I put it in the boot. What boot? What boot are you talking about? The boot of the car. Never heard that before. But always learning new terminologies from Australia and New Zealand with these dudes. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's close out this video. Let's take a look at the update history and see whether or not the devs have responded to complaints and have they continue to update the game and all that good stuff. So let's go for it. Let's go. Alright guys, so we're going to be looking at the Survive the Nights update history and forums. I'm going to start with the forums though real quick. I'm going to jump over there to see if there's any issues that people have been talking about and any dev responses. This game needs more advertising. Well, Uncle, I hope this video helps. Maybe this will drive some players to the game. I hope it helps. Single player. Big request for single player. Single player is coming. It's in the pipeline. This was in March 2020. We'll take a look at the update, see if it has any mention of single player. Hosting server options. Someone's requesting that. No dev response, but I know that that's coming. GeForce Now. I like the look, but alas, my computer is a toaster. That's not good. Will this game be available to stream with NVIDIA's GeForce Now? We've had a couple people ask about it, so we're going to be looking into it. Cool. Dev responded to that. I like that. Is this game still bad? Let me know. It's a lot better than it was 2 years ago. Fortification improvements, free place fortification were added in version 1.5. That was in January 12th, so Dev responded to that. Not until they fixed 2009 racing What? Come on. And add single player. Well, the devs said they're adding single player, and the graphics are definitely not bad. First of all, this is an indie game, so they're not going to have graphics of a AAA game. And I think a lot of people they don't make a comparison difference between AAA and indie. I think this is a great game, but for indie games, you get stuff like that. Devs actually responding to your threads, and you can talk to them, and suggestions actually go a lot further with indie devs than they do AAA. But I digress. Different topic, different video for the future, I'm sure. Take a look at this. Solo play. After quite a bit of thinking, we decided to change things up a bit here. As you know, we've been working on our graphical overhaul for some time now, and it's going great. Over the last week, I saw the team's been to test development builds, updated textures, props, lighting, and environmental changes are really coming along. I don't even think the game looks bad, but apparently they're gonna upgrade them too. Great. And solo gameplay. Take a look at our Steam community pages, our reviews, or any of our social media platforms. You'll see one glaring request: single player. So you'll find both solo and hosting options in patch 1.7. That's a good dev team. They're taking the reviews, they're taking the feedback, and they're implementing changes people want. Even a graphical overhaul, which personally I don't think the game needs, but heck, if you can make the graphics better, great, go for it. Doesn't need it, but it's always a good thing. But as you can see, the devs definitely responding. They're paying attention to feedback. This was January 29th. It is now February 3rd when I'm recording this. January 22nd, 15th, 8th, December 22nd, 19th, 18th, 14th, 14th, 12th. So all throughout December, January, there's posts. November, sale, patch notes. So the devs obviously have not abandoned this game in any way, shape, or form. They're obviously still updating it. They respond to forum threads. So nice job, Survive the Nights dev team. I like to see that. Nice job doing that, guys. And before we leave you today, guys, I just want to let you guys know that we have started live streaming on the channel. You should catch us on Friday nights where we're going to be doing some fun giveaways for the Friday Night Freebies. Harley thought of that name, not me at all. I know it's cheesy, but whatever. It Friday Night Freebies. God, that's horrible. Join us for that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time. We'll be streaming games and all that. And if you're not subbed, please consider throwing the channel a sub. Really, really appreciate that. And hit that little bell icon to be notified about all our future upcoming videos and giveaways. Speaking of giveaways, RTX 3080 giveaway still going on. It ends March 1st. So if you're not entered, please go to oathboundgaming.com and enter that giveaway today so you don't miss out. And thank you so much for watching this video, guys. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Skiddat!